I'm friends with the monster that's under my bed. Get along with the voice.
Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
What's going on, everybody?
As you can see here, we are here to do the first of which we hope will be many retro reviews of The Bachelor. So just a little background here. Brian and myself are relatively new to the Bachelor franchise. If you've seen in our channel, I have a little bit more experience. I started with the pilot Pete/Colton season, whichever one of those came first. So about 4 or 5 seasons under my belt. Brian, now covering, has about 3 seasons. We just obviously finished up this most recent season of The Bachelor with Clayton. And there is a huge hiatus until the Bachelorette comes back with our 2 Bachelorettes in July. So we figured until then, it would be fun to go back, and we don't know anything about these seasons. We don't know who won. We don't really know the contestants outside of, and we found on this one, maybe some people we've seen in the Bachelor franchise that predated us watching appearing. So like we said, we're going to go back, review episode by episode, just like we do with every other season of The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Paradise. And we are going to review this as if it were brand new and we don't know what's going on, which we don't. So we're going to watch out on the comments a little bit. We want to have conversations going on, but we're going to kind of step back from that just a little bit because we do want to give you guys a genuine reaction. So we wanted to do Jesse Palmer's season. Can't find Jesse Palmer's season. It is like, I've looked this up, right? Apparently there's some seasons like referred to as basically like the black seasons. Like they are like the black tapes of The Bachelor.
It's kind of crazy to me. Like we were texting about this, that they're not all available somewhere. Like I couldn't find anything pre-13 at all.
It's hard
because we did. It's not that we're cheap, but like we don't really. We have seasons available to us. We just didn't want to purchase it. If this becomes a successful series, then we'll end up doing that. But we still have like 10 or 15 total seasons that we could do, and maybe by then, Bill, hopefully, the Jesse Palmer season will be unlocked to the public.
It'll be unlocked, or somebody in the comments or someone can send us maybe a not so legal version and we won't rat you out. But like you said, we did want to find a season that was available. So we figured let's kind of do quick Googling and figure out which seasons have the most kind of drama and heat revolved around them without finding out the endings. And the name Juan Pablo came up a lot. Juan Pablo was all over the place. Juan Pablo has been mentioned offhand in comments in our other videos about the Bachelor franchise. So we said, you know what? This is the season to do it. So here we go. It is our review of The Bachelor season 18, episode 1, Juan Pablo. My biggest takeaway, Brian, I know yours was also one of the things is here, is that one of our big criticisms of the most recent season of The Bachelor was that we knew nothing about the contestants, about the women, all the way until the end. They spent a solid 25 to 30 minutes before they even met him going through a ton of the women. What are your thoughts on how they introed everyone?
No, I actually really like that. And this was technically the second episode. Like we didn't even watch like they had like a 40-minute, like I guess, of the interviews.
Like season intro, yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't even watch that just because we want to get to the meat. But I really enjoyed learning about, we saw every single person walk out of the limo with sometimes they just rattle them through. He's already holding their hands.
Yep.
We saw everybody walk out. We got a lot of like life before they were on the show. Like, not everybody, but I would say a decent amount. And it just was nice to learn and kind of put faces with names. And I just really enjoyed that. And what I'm really going to enjoy about doing this is the differences between now and then.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, there's a level of, and we obviously saw the preview, it seems like there's drama coming just like every season and a lot of upset, hurt feelings, but tell me if I'm wrong, it seems like they take it almost a little bit more seriously.
They might. I fast forwarded through the preview.
Okay. But I mean, just even in their interactions in this episode, it does seem like less of a game show and less of the self-awareness. Like these seem like most of these people were there to legitimately date.
Yeah, definitely the internet, like becoming famous, definitely wasn't on any of these women's mind, at least to our knowledge on the first episode. Because
not like Instagram famous.
Yeah. Like I feel like it's tougher. The internet isn't at its age or it's the point it is now. And I will say one thing I really noticed, Bill, like no kissing on the lips.
No kisses, dude. The kissing strategy came up too.
Yeah, right. He did all these like side kisses. Like he's definitely afraid to like. I don't know. We'll have to. I guess as we watch these seasons, we'll probably know like, oh wow, there's a lot of kissing. Maybe this was the point where kissing really started to become like natural. And
I do think that having his daughter like at the mansion probably has some impact, at least initially, on how his behavior is going to be. I did kind of find it funny that they were making a big emphasis. Obviously, he's a single dad, and that's really important. And he has even the family there with him. And he was talking about like how it's really important to have her there during these weeks in the process. But like they're gonna travel, like he's gonna leave soon, and she's not gonna be around. So it is they use the kid kind of as a prop, honestly.
Yeah,
they use the kid as a prop, and so I was a little bit like, but I'm wondering if she's gonna interact with these women at all.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
I wouldn't do it, but I this is also a television show, so
right.
Like you mentioned, Brian, the introductions very different. Now there's a few, not even jokey ones, but a few ones that say to show someone's talent or they brought a gift or something like that, but no costumes, no vehicles, no fucking 17-piece band rolling them in, like no hiding inside of a box for the entire first episode, like none of that crap.
No sexual innuendos.
The most kitschy thing we got was the girl rolling up her piano and playing piano, like, and that was cool. And the dog. The dog.
Molly,
the dog. That was also cheap. Kelly. So Kelly bringing Molly. Is Molly her dog?
I don't know. But it just was like, if that was the most extreme one, if they like seeing what we see now, like people coming in no clothes, it's Molly, the dog lover. That's her job. Is she's a dog lover.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, it's better than
the free spirit.
Lucy, who is a free spirit.
Yeah.
They're like, it's like good. Like I don't. In this episode, we're not gonna have like a ton of takeaways on the women. We got to know a lot about them, but like the thing was, they did it in a way that didn't give us any red flags about anybody.
Right, exactly.
Like there was no one out of this episode outside of girls doing their normal, like we need time with him. Nobody was a crazy. Like there was nobody that they obviously brought. Again, this is like a pure Bachelor, Brian. Like there's no plants.
Yeah.
No plants so far.
I wonder when the plant era started. Like that's what's going to be awesome because the seasons that are available to us are like 17 to like the 20s. So we'll really, I think, learn when the show took a turn, and maybe people in the comments will be help us out there too. Like, hey, this is where it starts to take that turn to today's
trashiness. I think if we can watch like the uptick in Instagram and TikTok and Twitter users is when it started to get
TikTok
trashy.
now. TikTok, not even.
I meant Instagram.
Yeah, not even a thought now.
Yeah, please. So as far as the intros outside of that, the only other thing I really had that I thought was worthy of note, we talked about Lauren and her piano. Cassandra cut the crickets.
Yeah,
that was rough. The awkward silence. She was like the third girl, and it was just like cricket.
He didn't really have that much to say in the beginning, anyways.
No. Wow. So, wow, I like this limo.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that limo. Also, we should just address what we were kind of teasing in the beginning here. Claire, man. The origins of Claire.
It was so weird.
It's so Claire though. She was pregnant. Like she wore like a freaking pillow on it. She was nuts back then. This is like 8 years ago.
Yeah, it was. I would. That's one of those ones that I wish we like. If that happened live today, we'd be like, I'm out. We're fully out.
No, we're out. But it's funny because like if we literally like if she had been any of the other ones, we're like, oh screw this girl, no way. And it's Claire, and we have had that reaction to her already.
She's the only one that we know has an arc.
We know we're like we don't know what like again, we really don't know. Like we know obviously she doesn't win, or maybe she does win. Like we really don't even know. We knew she was single at some point again later, but like so we're just very curious to see Claire's origin story. This is like the Batman origin story for Claire. Also, the creepiest line, he did have a creepy line that I don't know if a lot of people will catch. When the opera singer leaves and she's like, I want to hear you sing. And she's like, oh, I don't know. He goes, I'll hear you. I promise you.
Yeah, right. In that accent too.
I was like, uh-oh.
Right. Yikes.
I respect the dance party. I thought that was fun. The cocktail party was a dance party. He didn't cancel anyone's cocktail hours, and maybe he didn't give everyone time, but 27 women is a lot.
That's a lot. And I will say, even his just compare, I'm gonna do a lot of comparing to this season. When he was talking to the women, like we got more of him just having chit chat on the first night than we did in any of this current season.
We got camp life.
Yeah, we did get
Basically, like we really like we got to see their interactions. We got to see how they got to do it with the women, even with each other. And there was no ganging up on each other yet. There was no one seemed threatened by each other to start, which again is such a, it makes all the women in all these seasons going forward look so petty. I'm sure they're really not that threatened or that freaked out 10 minutes into the process, but they make these women now so hype and crazy off the start. And I really don't think that's the case. So I do, again, I like that this seems, I mean, there's still 27 women trying to date one man, but like it just seems a little more measured, which I think we're going to be able to have a little bit more conversation about their conversations this season, as opposed to like, oh my God, look at this stupid date they're on. They're riding motorcycles in the wind, in the mud, and there's a concert in the bay, like better things.
Yeah, not a lot of drama, at least. Maybe. We'll see.
And speaking of which, that was Charlene, who was the opera singer, who didn't really seem that into it.
No, that was really funny. He's like, I wasn't expecting this. Sure, I'll take it.
I see in the preview, and it does seem like she's around enough to seem like she cares a little bit. So it does seem like maybe she warms up, but I would love to see her just dip halfway through the season. Like, actually, you know what? This is just
right. If she, especially her thing was lives in Germany. So like,
yeah,
don't know if that's going to work.
No, I don't think so.
So
first rose ceremony. We mentioned we do have Chris Harrison here. We didn't have a lot of experience with Chris Harrison. So far, so good with us. We're not going to talk about Rachel Lindsay. We're not here to do that right now. Following women receive roses. Claire. First person, too.
Yeah.
Nikki, Renee, Andy, Allie, Chantel, Lauren S., our first initial, Kelly, and Molly, the dog, made it.
That was the first animal to get a rose.
Yes. Molly, the dog, is definitely the first animal to get a rose in Bachelor history. Molly, Cassandra, Danielle, Chelsea. Remember now, Brian, Kat, not Kylie.
Kat, yeah, I felt bad for that girl.
You got to give that girl a rose after that.
Yeah,
I felt bad for her. I mean, just give her a rose.
The accent, I don't know if like the accent threw her off, and she probably just like hanging on, just hearing "cuh," and like she's right there. She probably took off. Toes.
She was like a Olympic sprinter on the blocks, ready for the gunshot, and she heard a syllable and was off. Her head was up. Like, God, you gotta give her a rose. Like, bro, just give her a rose and eliminate her next week. It's not that big of a deal. Show some face here, Juan Pablo. So I don't have all the people eliminated. I do know that we did lose Amy J and Kylie. One was the massage therapist. So we took a massage and then got rid of her. Yeah,
Lacey was one that I was.
Yep.
She was pretty attractive.
That was a surprise. Again, a lot of attractive women. It seems like a lot of women with good careers and things too. So this guy definitely has like a good pool to choose from. I even like that they have a single mom on there. I think the single mom is a good dichotomy. Maybe we'll find out like he's an F-boy and she's got it together, or like vice versa. So it will not be nice to see like how one single parent behaves compared to another single parent.
Yeah, for sure.
Besides that, man, I'm pretty excited just about some of the changes we've seen. I like the format changes. I'm very curious to see how this season turns, because we know it's going to turn on its head just based off the feedback we got. So I'm curious to see what this guy does. He's probably just going to be very European and probably like hook up with a lot of girls. And since they're not used to it, maybe at this point in Bachelor history, maybe that's what sets them off.
Maybe we don't know. I don't know. So we'll see. We're excited.
We will be releasing these guys. We're going to do probably like 2 or so a week. We usually do weekly with the Bachelor franchise, but with plenty of seasons to go through and with a little bit of a hiatus on our content as far as the things we cover. We have Survivor running right now, and we have Temptation Island, but there's nothing Bachelor related, which is our main franchise that we cover. So we wanted to make sure that we stayed top of mind with all of you and can kind of learn, so that when we get into next season of The Bachelor, maybe by the time we get there, just like Brian did with Survivor, we can have a big back catalog of knowledge to be able to compare things and make good references for you guys who know way more than us, and we're working on catching up to you.
Right.
I think it'll be fun. It'll be nice to
I'm
be able to
excited.
catch references.
Yeah, for sure.
But for myself, Brian, Kevin, Waleed, the whole team, thank you and peace.
See you.